Kill them all. Kill them all. 2.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2024 action film Kill 'Em All 2. The film is directed by Valery Milev and it stars the legend Jean-Claude Van Damme. We have Jacqueline Fernandez, Andre Leonard and Peter Stormare. Right, okay, this film is the sequel to, I think it's the 2019 film, might be a little bit before then, called Kill 'Em All. And I have to be really honest, guys, I haven't seen the first one. However, for those of you who haven't seen the first one, you don't need to worry. This one, I don't feel as though you need to have seen the first one to watch. And it focuses on Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, Philippe, who is an I'm presuming, like CIA agent. It starts off with what I can only assume is the aftermath of the first film. There's like a massacre at like a hospital, and Jean-Claude Van Damme takes everybody out. And basically, this film is the big bad that Van Damme took out in the first film. His brother, Vlad, who is like I'm not even sure where they are. Eastern European gangster. He's vowing revenge on Van Damme, so he will do anything, kill anybody he has to get the information of where he is, and he tracks him down and tries to kill him. However, Van Damme's character, Philippe, is with his daughter, Vanessa, and he has to act fast in order to save him, save his daughter, and take his revenge on those that are trying to kill him. Right. What are my thoughts on Kill 'Em All 2? Well, like I said, I haven't seen the first one. For me, anytime a Van Damme film comes up these days, I thought, I'm going to give him a watch. I've always been a fan of Van Damme. I think some of his, especially earlier films, are, stone cold action classics. They really are very, very good, very, very entertaining. And I would suggest that after watching this, the quality of his movies now are on sharp decline, I think it's fair to say. I think the last one I watched and reviewed, which was, I think it was earlier this year, I can't even remember the name of it, but I wasn't impressed with that one at all. And while this one is a much more straight action flick for Van Damme, this is paint-by-numbers stuff here. This would have been an enjoyable film to watch potentially when Van Damme was at his peak in regards to his martial arts abilities. He's clearly now not able to do the things he could do when he was younger. I think, none of us really expect him to. But this film kind of pretends he can. And I'm not really sure how to take that. I mean, for a straight to DVD like B movie release. I mean, this is certainly watchable for fans of Van Damme. There's bits and pieces here for you to enjoy. But I'm not going to lie. I thought that it felt devout of any real soul. This film, you know what I mean? It felt empty. There was no effort either. I mean, I think Van Damme was one of the producers here, but his performance here again, I can't compliment it. Yeah, and you would think after all these years, the one thing that would have improved would be his acting, but I don't know if he just can't be bothered. It just seemed really low energy from Van Damme in regards to his performance, and we can't give the excuse of his accent and stuff anymore. That was certainly there when he was young in regards to, his performances. He was, just learned English if you like, but 35, 40 years later, if you like, He's been doing these movies for a long time. He's been speaking the English language for a long time. He's made a lot of films, and I would expect his performances at this point now to be better. And the frustrating thing is, he has proven that he can act. In the last decade and a half, he's done some roles that have been quite impressive for him in regards to his performances, and I know a lot of that is down to the actor, the script, the director, and all that kind of stuff. But at least if you like try and put some effort in, I feel like I'm being overly critical of Van Damme here. But I expect more, if I'm being honest. It's only because I expect more. Now, you can always usually guarantee on Peter Stormare in the movies that he's in to kind of steal a show and do an over-the-top performance. And I was gutted to see that his performance was very stilted as well, phoned in. I mean, when you look at some of the crazy characters he's created over the years, you know, Satan in Constantine, the character he did in Armageddon, Bad Boys 2. I mean, you could go on and on and on. He usually plays kind of bit parts, or medium parts, but they're so memorable, the characters he does generally. You know, he almost steals the show here in those movies. But again, he's just very forgettable here. And forget about the villains here, you know, this Vlad and his gang that are after Van Damme. It's just a cookie cutter story, really. It's one of those that someone's punched in a few numbers into like a generic computer click print, and it's printed out, or, you know, vomited out like a very generic action script. You know, they put the details into the first film, pressed it, here we go, second film. Someone's out for revenge for what he did in the first film. So yeah, I mean, as I've said, for a B movie action film with Van Damme on the sleeve, you know, I mean, people are going to get this and think, "Ooh, I'm going to be in for a bit of fun with Van Damme here," and it's not appalling. This film, it's just it's just disappointing for me. And you know, I was hoping for I don't know, something a little bit slicker, I suppose. And I think those days are long gone now for Jean-Claude, unfortunately. This is just very, very generic stuff, very unoriginal, what you've seen over and over again. And it says everything that, you know, you genuinely don't need to have seen the first film, because you get a vibe of what happened in the first film within the first 5 or 10 minutes. And, you know, it's, you know, not essential viewing. So yeah, this is, you know, not going to be a highlight of Van Damme's career. Do I think it's appallingly bad? No, I really don't. It's just, I don't know. It's just very, very basic stuff, I suppose. With, you know, action scenes you've seen before many, many times. Action set pieces you've seen before. The usual kind of stuff, body doubles for Van Damme here and there, which obviously you expect, but I think he needs to kind of mature his way into different characters now, different type of action. But he's still kind of doing some of those moves that he's been doing all his career, or trying to do them, you know, the punches, and, you know, the very stilted, slow, snappy punches, and I just want to see something a little bit different from Van Damme at this stage in his career, and fortunately this film ain't giving it. I think that, you know, it's almost like he's pretending to be who he was 20 years ago. I think they try and make an attempt to age him up in this film, because they give him like a daughter in the film that doesn't really work. Initially I thought it was his love interest, I'm not going to lie. I didn't have a clue, and then after about 15 minutes, the penny dropped. Oh, it's his daughter. But yeah, if you're a fan of Van Damme, I think, you know, you won't come away from this desperately gutted or disappointed with it, but you also won't be coming away from this thinking that's going on my top 10 favourite Van Damme films by any stretch of the imagination. And if you're a huge fan of the first one, then you probably, you know, will quite enjoy this one, I would suggest. So yeah, thanks for joining me for this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.